Hey there friends, today and tomorrow we're going to finish up seasons and weather. So today and tomorrow we're going to talk a lot about the weather, and then we'll be done with our seasons and weather unit, and we'll move on to stories, which is a fun unit too. Dear kindergartners, have you ever seen a thunderstorm? I got caught in one the other day and it made me kind of nervous. The thunder boomed, the lightning flashed, and it got me thinking about how strong violent weather can be. So today I'm going to tell you about severe weather and how to stay safe when the weather becomes severe. Severe means very bad. You probably know what kind of weather to expect when you look up and see clouds like these in the sky. Large dark clouds like these are storm clouds, and unless you want to get soaked, it's time to get indoors when you see a storm like this moving in. You definitely don't want to be outside when there's lightning in the air. Lightning is a stroke of electricity that connects energy in the ground with energy in a cloud. Sometimes you can see a bolt of lightning when it flashes and zigzags in the sky. Lightning is often followed by a loud clap of thunder. If the thunderstorm is far away, then the thunder may only sound like a distant rumble. But as the storm nears, the thunder gets louder and louder, and the time between the lightning and thunder gets shorter and shorter. Thunder cannot hurt you, but lightning can. A lightning strike knocked down this tree. Lightning can start fires too. Worst of all, lightning can kill or seriously injure a person. People are not usually struck by lightning, but it can happen. Fortunately, there are simple ways to avoid being struck by lightning. My parents taught them to me, and now I'm going to teach them to you. Lightning tends to strike tall things like trees and tall buildings. The smartest thing you can do in a storm is to stay indoors. If you can't take cover inside of a building, then a car is also a safe place. In case you ever get stuck outside in a thunderstorm and you cannot get indoors, it is important that you remember never to take shelter under a tree or a tall object. Even though the tree may help keep you dry, you never want to be near a tree if it gets hit by lightning. If worse comes to worse, lie down flat on the ground, away from any trees, and wait for the storm to pass. You'll get wet, but you won't get struck by lightning or another tree. Another important rule is to always get out of a pool, lake, river, or ocean immediately during a thunderstorm. Electricity moves through water, so anyone in the water can be hurt by a single lightning strike. If it rains for several days, or if it rains really, really hard for a few hours, then a flood can occur. A flood is when there is a lot of water on land that is normally dry. For example, floods occur when the ground and nearby rivers cannot hold any more water. When that happens, the rainwater has no place to go, creating a flood. As with any serious weather condition, it is best to stay indoors when it floods. Never go near a flooded river. Rushing floodwaters are dangerous, and they can sweep away trees, buildings, people, and cars. Some other types of weather that can also be very dangerous. Depending on where you live in the United States, these types of weather conditions occur seasonally, and when they do, be safe. Tornadoes, also called twisters, are enormous wind funnels that can form if the conditions are just right during certain kinds of thunderstorms. Tornadoes swirl down out of the clouds and sweep along the ground, knocking down everything in their paths. We don't really have tornadoes. Well, actually we don't. We don't have tornadoes here in Utah, so that's lucky. Some places have loud sirens that wail when tornadoes are in the area. When this happens, it's time to get to a safe place like an underground shelter. If there's no shelter nearby, go to the basement of a building you are in, if there is one. Or go to a small enclosed space like a downstairs bathroom or closet. Just don't stand near windows because the wind or flying objects that the tornado picks up can actually break the glass. So we don't have tornadoes, so not a lot of people have like shelters like this in their yard, but in the United States, kind of east of us, it's called the Midwest, there's lots of tornadoes, and so they usually have these shelters here. But if something ever to happen, like maybe there's a crazy windstorm, we've had a crazy windstorm before, you would want to just stay in a small area, maybe a bathroom or downstairs in a basement if you can, just to stay safe in case any glass were to break. But that usually doesn't happen where we live. Hurricanes can strike in the United States along the ocean during the late spring, summer, or early autumn. Hurricanes are enormous storms that form over the oceans. As it moves through the air, a hurricane can grow in size and strength. When a hurricane hits land, it brings heavy rains and powerful winds and sometimes even tornadoes. Look at the way these trees bend in the wind. While they're over the ocean, hurricane winds also push water into piles like a bulldozer, and they dump the water when they hit land, causing flooding. As you could probably guess, you definitely do not want to be outside during a hurricane, nor do you want to be near a window. Sometimes, if a hurricane is expected to be strong, people might evacuate or leave their homes and move to a safer place away from the coast before the storm strikes. Here is something else to avoid: hail. During a hailstorm, chunks of ice called hailstones fall from the clouds onto the ground. Usually, hailstones are small, about the size of peas or smaller. Sometimes, however, hailstones can be as big as golf balls or even a baseball. You definitely do not want to get caught outside in a hailstorm. So this might happen near us. We've had some hail before, so it's just that it hurts. So you don't want to be caught in this, right? Because they're like little chunks of ice. So that if you just go inside, that will keep you safe. It's important to know how to stay safe during storms and other kinds of severe weather. If possible, don't go outside at all in any kind of storm. If you have to go outside, wear the right kind of gear, like raincoat, boots, or a hat during rainstorms. But be smart and be safe, and don't take any chances in severe storms. Your friend, Annie. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about weather tomorrow, and then that will be it for this unit. Talk to you soon.